Okay, so I saw this video with Asmongold and this guy who works in the government. Okay, here's the thing about video games and their monetization. It is 100% an easy thing to fix. The issue is that these game developers do not care as long as it makes them the money they want. I know exactly how to make these games in a way where the game doesn't require you to pay at a certain point. The people developing these games also know how to do this. All you have to do, realistically, to get them to stop is just shut down all the companies of games that launch and the game doesn't work, the game doesn't function. If you start doing that to these retarded fucking game companies, they will stop producing unfinished products, which is illegal, by the way, and they will stop hiding all of their progression behind loot crates. This is a story that's not really much of a story, it's just something that happened. But I sent a lot of messages to Riot Games because they do this thing where they ask for your opinion, and I sent a whole bunch of just like, you guys know what to do to fix your game. Stop acting like retards, etc. I was just going on a rant. And I sent like maybe 10 paragraphs because I got reported and I was pretty mad about it because I got reported and my chat was empty a few times. So their voting system for reporting people functions off of a literal vote. You against people voting to report you for whatever reason. And this, like, are we living in the year one? Is that why a triple billion dollar company has retarded vote systems? Like, I was pretty upset because there's a lot of things in these games that you have to be an actual fucking retard to implement it and think, oh, this is great. These companies are making billions of dollars on doing not even just good enough. They're just making the product. That is it. Literally, I could take all their fucking jobs and write down what they should do on a sheet of paper because it's that simple to fix what these fucking companies are messing up on purpose just so they can make their money without any effort. And another part of the issue is that people also don't care about video games. That's the real thing. If I was to ask Asmongold to go play Devil May Cry, he'd probably get stuck or quit. Asmongold's shit at video games. He's not that good. Play World of Warcraft, a game that is designed for you to do well and get addicted. Most people aren't even gamers. They're just addicted some way or somehow. And then people who actually play video games, like me, have to suffer the consequences in games like Shadow of War. Shadow of War was, the first game was good. Then the second game, they took out parts of the game that it's not even worth talking about. Like in the first game, it was more like Batman, where you could attack, and then counter. But in the second game, if you don't press counter when they tell you, when it shows up on the screen, you're gonna get hit no matter what you do. If you don't roll, and then there's dumb stuff like they adapt. The enemies adapt to what you do, but there's certain enemies that you can't attack them anymore because they adapted. And then they can also adapt to fire, and they can adapt to literally everything that you can attack, all at the same time. What fucking retard designed that system? To me, it seems like these video game companies have employees who are getting sexually abused, and they're like, look, we're just gonna sabotage the game. They have employees who are not getting paid enough, and they're like, look, we're just gonna sabotage the game. Or these companies don't give a shit, and they're just working for the profit. Like, it has to be some type of issue, because the first Shadow of War and the new Shadow of War, there's not a big 20-year gap between when these games were released. It's not like the technology doesn't exist that made the first game to make the second game, so they had to rework everything. And then they accidentally left out all the fundamental stuff that made the game good. And then they were like, look, we gotta add loot crates. No, these people just don't give a fuck. But this isn't really a reaction video. I was just thinking about all of that right after watching. How many minutes did I watch? Is this the right time? 11 minutes, 15 seconds. It's like, it's actually, like, I would be willing to bet $1 billion that I could write on a sheet of paper everything that these companies could do. In fact, if I wrote everything on the sheet of paper, I'm pretty sure that what I write down would make them more money than ever before. I could confidently say that because making video games is easy as fuck, especially now. And you can go put on a bodysuit, make your animation by walking around, and then just go code hitboxes into the animations. That's literally game design nowadays. So all these advancements, it didn't make them make better games, it made them make lazier games. But I'm going on a little too long with it. I was just thinking about this because I watched this video and then Asmongold is talking about it, so it's like, yo, this is not a hard thing to solve. These companies don't give a fuck. Just start shutting their bullshit down, because they're really getting away with too much at this point. You know, I heard a story that Blizzard, they had like dried up breast milk. Why are women being forced to be at work and breastfeed in an area so often that there's dried up breast milk there? As if it's like a cycle, or a slave working place. Like, these companies are making too much money for a human brain to process because they can't handle it. They really can't. Half of these games that they're making are easy to design and they're still fucking it up, like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk, when you break it down, what goes into Cyberpunk, and you take out all the special effects, all the cutscenes, you could literally make Cyberpunk in about 2-3 months if you just sat down and made everything. You took out all the cutscenes, all the famous actors, took out all that. You could literally make the entire game of Cyberpunk in 2 or 3 months if you just worked on it every day. I could literally write a better Cyberpunk than the dog shit that they came up with in 10 years. Some of these games are literally fucking despicably dog shit. But anyways, That's the end of the video for me. I'm gonna watch the rest of this Asmongold.